to Tween Tuesday. I'm Miss Cindy from the South Brunswick Public Library, and I am back today with a new craft to show you, all with about $4 worth of stuff that I got from the dollar store. Basically, what we're going to do is something called hydro dipping. Now, if you haven't heard of hydro dipping, it's hydro, water, and dipping. You dip something in water that has some sort of paint on it. Now, the paint that we're going to be using is nail polish. The paint that we're using doesn't mix with the water. It sits on top of the water so that when you place something into it, the paint adheres itself to whatever you're dipping in it, and you end up with something really cool and marbled and interesting. So we're going to do something like that, except for we're going to be using nail polish instead of the paint, and we're going to be using mugs that I got from the dollar store. But if you have old mugs laying around at home that you want to decorate and use, feel free to go ahead and use those. It's a really easy process once you get the hang of it. So I'm going to show you how to do it today. Let's go. All right, you guys, we're going to get started on our marbled mug. We're going to be doing this by essentially hydro dipping. Hydro dipping is when you use paint, in this case nail polish, in some water, and you use that to make sort of a marbled pattern, and you dip whatever it is that you want to paint or dye. So let me tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need nail polish, a mug, something to stir the water with, and a bowl. So all this stuff I actually got at the dollar store. The nail polish, the mug, these popsicle sticks I already had, but you can get these as craft sticks in the craft section of the dollar store also. And I'm using a bowl, but I'm covering it in literally the dollar store bag so that I don't get any nail polish on my bowl or anything. But you can also, if you have a bowl that you can throw away or like a big aluminum pan, you can use that too. It just needs to be deep enough to actively dip whatever you're trying to get into. So like for this, I want it to go about, let's say, halfway up the mug. So it needs to be at least this much of a height. So first thing we're going to do is put water into our bowl. It doesn't need to be super deep. Again, just deep enough to dip whatever it is that you're trying to dip into. So, for example, I want to dip kind of like that. So that is a good enough depth. Next, you're going to take your nail polish. Now you want to decide on your colors and have everything ready beforehand because the nail polish might dry a little quicker than you're expecting. So you want to make sure that everything is ready so that as soon as you've got the nail polish marbled, you can go ahead and just immediately start dipping. So just clean this brush off. And I'm going to just pour a little bit of that. That one, I have this kind of silvery. Just pour as well. And a purple. The purple is also kind of glittery. I don't know how the glitter is gonna come out, but oh no. This one's not coming out quickly, so I'm just gonna bail on it and just add a little bit more of the silver. I'm gonna use my stick and just kind of swirl it around so it's a nice kind of pattern. Don't mess with it too much. You see how the stick is already covered? Now you're going to take whatever you're dipping, your mug, and you're going to slowly dip it in, not getting water inside. You don't want the nail polish inside the mug. Just kind of roll it in. I got a little bit of nail polish in the mug. Oh no, that thing I said not to do. Well, it's okay. I'm not going to be using this mug for drinking. I'm going to be using this mug to put pencils in, so it's fine. But be more careful than I'm being. But you see, you get kind of this cool, let me hold it up here, marbled effect on the mug. We're going to try that again one more time. I have a new mug, again, still from the dollar store. This time I have painter's tape with me. You can use masking tape. You can even use duct tape, but duct tape is too strong for this. So I'm going to move my water out of the way here for just a moment. Now for this, I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to tape off kind of this upper half in a diagonal. Actually, no, changed my mind. I'm going to do it at about the halfway mark. You want to make sure that the tape is touching the mug. So if you get air bubbles, that's fine, but you want to smooth them out. And the line's a little crooked, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip the whole bottom half of this mug in, and the tape should stop the polish, so I'm going to get a half and half effect. So now, let's move this back. You can move old polish out of the way. See what I mean about it drying? You can just move the old polish right out of the way and start over. Yeah. You can pick it up pretty quickly. So, old polish out of the way. We're going to go again. That noise you hear is me shaking a nail polish. So we're going to try the purple again, and if it doesn't work, I have a different one. It is very reluctant to come out. There we go. So I'm going to do this purple here. I have another kind of purpley, glittery silver. And then I'm going to go in with the gray again. Again, take your stick, give it a little bit of a swirl. And this time I'm going to go straight down. And I'm just going to roll it to make sure that I'm getting good coverage. And it's out. There we go. Now we can take the tape off. Actually, I'm going to move this out of the way first, and then we take the tape off. I'm cleaning it off on my paper towel, just so that the bottom stays dry. I'm going to find the end of the tape and carefully pull it off. There we go. Now I have the bottom half of the mug, and I also have this kind of more swirly one that I dipped in a little more freehand. Now I'm touching it, but I can still feel that it's sticky. So you don't want to touch it too much. You want to let it dry for at least a day. Now, I've seen that you can drink out of these just fine, as long as you don't make the mistake that I did, where you let the nail polish get into the mug. This is definitely not going to be safe for drinking anything, so I'm going to be actually using this to store like pencils and markers and stuff on my desk. You can use it to store that, you know, put like paper clips in it, paint brushes, markers, pencils, makeup brushes, stuff like that. This one is more safe to drink out of, but this is not going to be dishwasher safe, so once it dries, you will have to carefully hand wash it, so just keep that in mind. If that's not something that you're going to feel like doing, then I would suggest maybe keeping these just for storing stuff as opposed to actually drinking out of. Either way, they end up looking really cool. They're always going to be one of a kind, and no two are ever going to look alike. Okay, see, once you realize that you have to kind of work fast and you get the hang of it, you end up with something really cool. I ended up with this kind of Slytherin looking mug, and this one, which is a little bit more subtle. I think they're both actually really cute though. Now this one, as you saw, I got the paint in, so I'm definitely not going to be using this to drink anything out of, but like I said, I'm already keeping my paintbrushes in it. This one, though, is totally safe to drink out of. I didn't get nail polish near any of the parts that I will be putting my mouth or any liquid or food or, whatever in. So, what you have to do is make sure to let this dry for a full day. I have let this dry for about 3 hours at this point, and I can still feel that it's sort of tacky. It's dry to the touch. It's not going to rub off or anything, but it's still a little bit tacky. So you want to let it dry for a full day. And then when you wash it, make sure to wash it carefully. Don't scrub at it with the hard part of the sponge. Just use the soapy water to clean around the outside and then clean the inside just as you would any other mug. So that is all the time that we have for today, but I hope you guys learned something new and cool today. And I will see you guys next time on Tween Tuesday. Bye!